Question 16 looks at probably the first question we've done that will combine the use of the cosine rule and the sine rule. Good, clear diagram. Do not be frightened of redrawing it in smaller parts as you go. So I have a ship, we'll call that point A, travels 14 kilometers on a bearing of north 34 degrees towards the west. It then reaches, we'll say that's point B, this point, and then travels another 8 kilometers north 10 degrees to the east. That's 8 kilometers, 14 kilometers. We want the distance, we'll say that's to point C. We want the distance from A to C, call that X, and the bearing. Now the bearing, look carefully, is not 34 degrees, but it'll be this little angle, which I'll call phi. The difference between north and the line there, it'll be less than 34 degrees. So I'm just going to draw this again in a moment, but I need to put in some information. I've got 10 degrees there. I have a 34 degrees there. The Z rule's in play. So this missing angle is 180 less 34 plus 10, which is going to be 136 degrees. Now that's kind of messy as I've drawn it, so I'm just going to strip it out, that triangle, so I can just concentrate on finding the distance X first. Always think about pulling the diagram out and getting a better handle on where things are at. I'll have to come back to this diagram at the end in order to find this missing angle theta to get my bearing, but I'll work for the moment in this triangle with just the lengths. So x squared is 8 squared plus 14 squared. Take 2 times 8 times 14 times the cos of 136. So I've now got x is equal to 20.52 kilometers when I take that square root. I've got a pairing of an angle, the side length, and that 8 is partnered with theta. So 1, I found x. 2, I'm going to find this angle theta. Because theta is part of that 34 degrees. The difference between 34 and theta is going to give me my bearing from the north. Now it's sine of theta divided by 8 is equal to sine of 136 divided by the 20.52. Transposing, it's 8 times the sine of 136 divided by 20.52. When I carry out the multiplication, numerator first, then the division, or theta is equal to 15.71 degrees. I'm just going to work with that little blowout here. My bearing is going to be north back towards the west. I know that this angle here is 15.71. That entire angle is 34 degrees from the question. So from A to C, from A to C, 34 less the angle I've just found. So north, 34, take the 15.71, back towards the west, 18 degrees, 17 minutes. Now these questions keep cropping up time after time after time in tests and exams, so take some time to go through it. They're very common. Fiddly, you need a good diagram. You need to be able to pull your diagrams apart. And be prepared to do it in parts.